Hope you're all doing well. And a few apologies first. We are going to be doing the issue 7 of Build the Batman Tumbler. Like I said before, a couple of apologies first. I've had all sorts of troubles getting to this stage, issue 7, with newsagents, with getting a direct delivery. But it's turned out to be a blessing in disguise. So without further ado, let's get to the bench and let's have a look at issue 7 of the Batman Tumbler. Okay guys, we're back at the bench here and let's have a look inside issue 7 first. We've got our book for issue 7. I might just bring up that camera a little bit so we can see all of the book there. I mean, it's going to be there we go, bit more on the Batman stuff. We got the old Batman here as well, the Batman car, which that at the moment you can, I think it's Agora Models or Hatchet that are doing this in a die cast, so you can do that. Then we keep on turning over the page, a bit more comic book about it all. That flickering is annoying. It must be the LED light again. I'll just change lights for a second, hang on. I'll just do that one. Whoa, that's a bit bright. All right, okay, so we got that. More history of the Batman Tumbler and what we're going to be doing today. Here's all our parts here, and what parts of these represent. It represents the shocker assembly rods and right steering bar is what we're going to be working on today in issue 7. So, but before we get to issue 7, I want to show you something on why I said before it's worked out in my favour with all this run around between the news agents to sort of like getting, well, I'll start off by saying when I got to news agents, 2 news agents basically, giving me the run around. I'll go in there each week. No, it's not in yet. No, it's not in the following week. And it's like, okay, I'm going to another news agent's. Okay, maybe I'm impatient. But then I went to the other news agents, signed up with them. Then they said, it'll take a couple of weeks before we start sending you the issues or getting the issues into the news agents for you. And I went in a couple of weeks later. No, it hasn't came in yet. Went in 2 weeks later. No, still no issue. And it's like, okay, I'm done with this. Then I went to, my son told me that you can get this direct sent it to your place. So I rang up the company or sent a message and said to them, I need to start this from issue 9. And they said, no problem, basically. So what do they end up doing? They sending me from issue 1, which means I've got double copies of some issues. So I thought, oh gee, this is a headache. And this took about 5 months. So I'm looking at the last issue from 5 months ago, and that's how long it's been since from issue 6 to now issue 7. So, and what I mean by it's probably been a bit of a blessing, this here, you can see here, as I grab the screwdriver, see this area here? I accidentally, as you can see it, I accidentally snapped that. Tried to glue it back on and it was too late. It's weak and yeah, it's all snapped off. So all this is no good, and that is because the reason why that it snapped off is because, here's the other side, is because I over tightened this screw too much, and I think I tried to move that down into position and it snapped on the other side. So that's when I tried to glue it, and yeah, what a headache. So therefore here is our new part. As you can see, 2 of them that I've got. Now I don't need this one anymore because it's bin job. And as you can see, it's all. And what I did was I just loosened these off a little bit and make sure I didn't have the same incident I had last time. So there is that. So that brings us up to speed. And hopefully what I'm going to do with this issue by issue is this is going to be every fortnight. I'm going to be doing this to make sure I do a consistent issues, so you guys know exactly when it's coming on. So we'll go further into the book, and as you can see, this is what we're going to be doing. So we've got to go back to step 1. We've got our step 1, step 2 there, as you can see. Then we've got our step 3, 4. So there's a lot of steps involved in this one, which is, and then there's our last bit there, and then, so value for money, this one. So without further ado, I'll get myself set up here and we'll get stuck in to our step 1 of our issue 7 of the Batman Tumbler. Okay guys, for our step 1, we have to post 2 shock assembly rods, which are these, 2 of these, and the shock assembly link, which is this part here, and we need 2 screws that we've got to screw into. Now this is metal, so what we've got to do is we've got to put that through there, and I'll put that down there while I get the screw ready. And because this is metal, we're going to need to be putting this into our oil, just add a little bit of oil, and screwing that in place. If it's been a bit of a problem already. So what I might do is start the screw off first. I've got a bit of oil on here just to get it started. Is always best off. So I'll get that started, and then unscrew again. Put that down there. Then we'll put this back on, and we should be place that back down. Get the screw on properly. It's a tiny screw, this one, so it's been a bit of a bugger already. So I'm going to have to put that down again, place that over there, grab our screw once again, okay. There we go, that's better. So we're going to be tightening that up all the way. Screw's really small. This metal's really hard. So really hard. Might be best off if I grab a different screwdriver here, I think. Might be the plan. Sorry about that. Right. There we go, got that one on. Then what we've got to do is, same situation, put that on, put the screw in, which I'll start the screw off first, put it into some oil. Basically because these ones are, it's got a head on these screwdrivers here, the screw. So I just want to start this off again. Just want to make sure it's all nice and straight. There we go. Yeah, that's better. More happy with that one. So we'll unscrew that. Then we'll go through all the problem again. Putting that one there, like so. Hopefully if I have this down on the bench it might work with me, not against me. So I'll put that screw back into place. Just makes it more easier to start the screw off first before putting the part in. That way you're actually not fighting it, hopefully. Screw that up. And there we go. There is our step 1, step 2, and step 3 done. We'll move on to step 4. I'll get all the parts ready for that and we'll come back. Okay guys, we got our section 4, our parts for our step 4. We're needing this part here and obviously our wheel. So, and we're needing our shaft here and this part here. Now the shaft does not go through this part here, this rod here. The shaft is going through there, then we're putting that there, and then we're putting, as this V here has got to be facing that V, sort of like that V there. That goes in there, as so. And I'm just sort of like putting it together just to show you. And then this part here, this part that we got here, will go on the opposite side, facing that way. Like so. If I can, maybe I've got my hands in the way, which is probably what it is. That part there is facing that way. So when that shaft goes through, it'll come out through here. And we put now UM screw on the end of the shaft to tie it all up. Now I'm going to have to do this bit off camera, so we'll come back to it and show you what the finished part looks like, because it's just going to be too difficult for me to rotate this around so I can show you guys. So I'll put it together and then that way we'll have a look at how it looks at the end. Okay guys, that was a real need an extra set of fingers for this one, but as you can see here, I'll just have to explain this. We've got our shaft that goes through here, which this part goes in, and then this part goes in between this part here. And to make sure that V is facing like that, it's got to end up looking like that. So you've got to make sure that that V part is facing that way. And this part goes, our outside part goes on here, and then we just screw it all together. So that's that part. So that is stage up to step 6. So now I'll get the parts ready for step 7, and hopefully it's an easier part. Okay, now our next step is to grab, we're working on our right hand side here, so our next step is to these 4 lugs here go in the hole through there, and sort of like it's got these little pinpoint areas where you put them in the hole there. Then we're going to grab our AM screws and then screw it through the other side, as you can see there. So we'll get that on and I'll come back. Okay, now we've done that bit, we're securely, I'm going to call this our flywall. This here, we securely screwed it with our screws, our AM screws at the back here. So they're mounted to that now, so that is what that is looking like through there. So that is starting to take shape, I guess. So, and just making sure that this is looking like this as I'm going through the book, and it's making sure that it's in its correct position. And we'll so that was up to stage 8. Then I'm going to turn over the book here, and what we're going to do now is I'll get our parts ready for stage 9, and we'll come back and show you those parts. Okay guys, we've got this part here, this part here. Now what we've got to do is, as you can see, this part here, and what we've got to do is we've got to slide this shaft in there like so, put it on here like so, so that's on, and then we're going to grab our, what does it say, our RP screw, and screw that in there. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'm screwing into metal still, so I've been using my oil, so we'll screw that in through there. We'll come back. So there we go guys, that is our next part in, done, screwed in. As you can see, it kind of acts as like our shock absorber, so that's that done. Now we'll move on to our next bit and show you what that looks like. Okay, I've got our next bit here. This is our next bit right here. So what's going to happen with that is, in the book, it is telling us the fatter circle is going to go into here. So that's going to link onto there, and like so. Then I'm going to put a screw in. Now it's not telling me in the book what screw I've got to use, so therefore I'm going to be I guess guessing that we're going to be using a, like we have done here with this screw here, which was a RP screw. I imagine it's going to be the same RP screw there. So I'll fit it in, dip it in oil, fit it in, and see how that looks, and we'll come back. And what I've got to do next is grab another screw. This part here is going to link into this here in between there, so this will come down, log into that part in there, and then we'll put another screw in through the other side. So, and we'll see the completion look when we come back. Okay guys, that was a bit of a difficult, I've got to clean up my oil there. That was a bit of a difficult task to do, because you've got to be very careful that this part here is plastic, so that I could see that easily snapping when you try and put some force on there to screw this in. So just be careful of that, guys. There, that's plastic. but that is securely in now, so the actual tire is not wobbling, so you can see that bit of shocker moving, so that's all good. Happy with that. So now we'll move on to the next step, showing the next step, which will be step 13. Sorry, no, I do apologise. We're getting ready for step 12. So we'll show that bit, grab the parts, and see what we're going to do. Okay, guys, grabbed our next pieces. This is what they look like. This looks like an old-fashioned uni joint. That's what that looks like. So what we're going to do is slot it in the groove there, like so. I'll just grab that. Then using our AP screws, one on the left hand side, one on the right hand side screw. So this is metal, so we'll be dipping in the oil again, and I'll put that together and we'll see what that looks like. Okay, now what I've done is screwed them both in, both sides, as you can see there, both sides. Left it a little bit loose because I'm not too sure that's supposed to be fully tightened. My guess is I think that's got to have some play in it a little bit. So I think this is going to be for our drive shaft, I think, by the looks of this. But what it's, if I grab the next step, what I'll do is I'll get it ready and I'll come back. Okay, what we've got to do now, which I was pretty much right, we've got to make sure that those two holes there are turned around to make sure, which are going to line up with our drive shaft there. So we're going to make sure this is down, facing down, through the hole there, in through there, screw that into there, left side and right side, a screw through there and a screw through there with our, I think it was our AP screws, and we'll see what that looks like once it's all done. And there we go, guys, that is in. So this is obviously going to rotate our, as you can see, it's going to rotate our wheels from left to right. So if I bring that down a little bit, you can kind of see the wheel start to want to turn when I turn this left to right. So I was pretty much right. I didn't want to tighten this all up anyway. I didn't want to tighten that all up, so it probably needs to be a bit loose. But that is the end of our book, issue 7, and I've got to say, you definitely got your money's worth out of this issue, that's for sure. But we'll go back to me so we can get a full size of this and see what it looks like. Okay, certainly got our money's worth there, didn't we? Now, should give you an overall look at this. So there we go there. And I mean, this is going to turn out to be a heavy vehicle. As you can see, if I sort of like swing that back around where the flywheel is, as I'm turning that left and right, you can see that sort of like left and right activate. But they're kind of an overall look, really, if I could give you sort of like that as an overall look. And there we go, so that is that there. So I'm hoping what we're going to be doing with Batman Tumbler is do it every fortnight, and hopefully we've got no more problems like I had with the newsagents, and hopefully we get a regular run of, I mean, I do have quite a few issues here now, but I want to keep that in advance just in case I don't deliver 1 month. I've still got something to show you guys on a regular basis. But thank you guys for watching, and all my subscribers and viewers, and until next time, we'll get stuck into issue 8, and take care for now, guys. Stay safe, and thank you for watching.